Now to the election interference case against former President Donald Trump in Georgia. New video revealing what his former attorneys told prosecutors about the 2020 election. They agreed to cooperate as part of plea deals announced just last month. ABC's senior investigative correspondent Aaron Katersky has that story.
What two attorneys who used to advise former President Trump were willing to say to prosecutors as part of their plea deals.
He always wanted to know where things were in terms of finding fraud that would change the results of the election.
So he would contact you?
Sure.
Sidney Powell and Jenna Ellis pleaded guilty to reduced charges and agreed to cooperate. ABC News has obtained portions of video recordings of their confidential interviews with prosecutors.
His trusted advisors were telling him, "Sir, you lost."
Right.
So I guess my question is why in his mind was your credibility higher than theirs?
Because I didn't think he had lost.
Aides were telling him he lost, but Powell said Trump was so determined to stay in office, he weighed a plan to seize voting machines in multiple states.
That would have allowed the machines to be secured in 4 or 5 states or cities and see about doing a bipartisan or military or whatever everybody agreed on review of the machines.
Jenna Ellis told prosecutors she was at the 2020 White House Christmas party when Trump aide Dan Scavino told her Trump simply planned to refuse to leave office.
He said to me in a kind of excited tone, "Well, we don't care and we're not going to leave."
Ellis said she asked him, "What do you mean?"
He said the boss is not going to leave under any circumstances. We are just going to stay in power. And I said to him, "Well, it doesn't quite work that way, you realize." And he said, "We don't care."
Scavino did not respond to requests for comment. An attorney for Trump called the purported conversation meaningless since Trump ultimately did leave the White House. Trump has denied any wrongdoing.
It's not a direct quote from Donald Trump where Donald Trump is saying that he's going to remain in power no matter what, but it lends credibility to other testimony that we've heard from other witnesses that he was going to stay in power no matter what.
Aaron Katersky, ABC News, New York.